Okay, we got introduced to the main trigonometric functions. Now let's see the rest of them. We got the sine of any angle, which we know is the opposite side over the hypotenuse. We also know the cosine, which is the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. Then we have the tangent, which is the sine over the cosine. The secant, which is 1 over cosine. The cosecant, which is 1 over sine. And the cotangent, which is 1 over tangent of x. Now let's say that x is equal to 45 degrees, which is the same as pi over 4, and do some examples. So we know that sine of pi over 4 is going to be equal to the square root of 2 over 2. And then the cosine is also going to be the same thing, the square root of 2 over 2. So the tangent is the sine over the cosine, right? So it's going to be the square root of 2 over 2 divided by the square root of 2 over 2, which is going to be 1. Now the secant, we said that is 1 over cosine, and cosine is the square root of 2 over 2. So this is going to be equal to 2 over the square root of 2. Then the cosecant is going to be 1 over the sine, which is the square root of 2 over 2, and again we obtain 2 over the square root of 2. And finally the cotangent, which is 1 over tangent. So we said the tangent is 1, therefore it's going to be the same thing, 1. And lastly we have the arc sine, arc cosine, and arc tangent. So to understand these trigonometric functions, we have to look at some examples. When we take the sine of an angle, we obtain a number. Well, when we do the arc sine of that number, we obtain the angle. And the same thing happens with the arc cosine and the arc tangent.